know. I don't know how to really start this, but I guess we could just jump right into it, man. I feel like I just like the natural kind of, I don't know, the flow, I guess, to it. But like, I've just been loving where you're, what you've been doing lately. And I'm just so happy to have you on like this little podcast thing that I'm started. So thank you so much for joining us first and foremost, man. How is your day going? I know you just got off of work, but...
It's doing good, buddy. Just checked out that new Alex Terrible joint. The fucking what is it called again? Jeez, I just did it. I forgot the name of it. The fucking the only thing they fear is you.
Yes, man, that was so wild. I loved it. Are you a big Doom guy as well?
Yeah. I mean, I used to be, and I tried to get back into it with the most recent one. I did a couple of like Let's Plays on my channel for it, but then the fucking game was so hard. I'm like, I'm too old and slow for this shit now. I gave up on it. I didn't end up finishing it, but it's fucking brutal. And the fact that he's like comes up with like the vocals for this shit, man, like all the lyrics and everything, it's just insane. It was like BFG was amazing, and this one was just over the top ridiculous.
No way. I haven't had a chance to play it. My girlfriend actually has like, she used to be like a little bit of a nerd back in the day as well. So she's got like the old school Sega and Nintendo and the shit that I loved growing up with. But like she has a Doom. It was like, I forget what Doom it was, but some Doom Eternal game. And I'm like, man, I need to figure out how to put it on the computer so I can like stream it on Twitch and just play it with everybody. But I think it'd be a lot of fun just to go back in that day. Yeah, I haven't been a Doom fan. I've never really played the game at all. I know what it's kind of about, but it looks so fun. But yeah, I'm probably in the same boat with you. I'm probably like too old and slow for it. No, this is cool, man. I really do appreciate you coming by. But yeah, that Alex Terrible song is really fucking sick. Again, I just wanted to have you on, kind of share your side of the story about what's going on. I've been having a lot of fun just kind of connecting with different content creators. And like I've done some stuff with Metal Burb, got to meet up with him, which we had a lot of fun with. Hardcore as well, and we just had Matt from Matt and Chels, and that was a lot of fun as well. So like just to hear his story and kind of how he manages YouTube, because he's full-time with this now with the family and everything, and having Chels on there with him, it's just really cool to hear other people's stories. So I'm so happy to have you on here, and I got like a line of like questions just to bang off for you. And I think you as a person and your channel is just so unique in a way. So the first thing I really kind of wanted to get out of you is like, is there a name leak for you? I don't know your actual name, and if there isn't, feel free not to say. But like, what if it is? What is it? But if you don't want to say it, it's all good. But what is the name behind Galacticriminal?
My name is Peter. You can call me Pete.
Oh shit!
You don't want to refer to me as Galacticriminal for a fucking interview. That'd be weird. Yeah, you can call me Pete. It's out there. I've said it before. It's not like I'm hiding or anything. You can Google it. You can find it pretty easy. But yeah, I mean, your guys' experience with YouTube is. I mean, I'm actually more interested in hearing your guys' side of this thing, doing it full time, because it's really just a hobby for me.
Yeah,
I don't take it like super. I don't take it super seriously. I make a video and upload it each day. But you guys are like, you're all over like TikTok and shit. You're doing like streams and all that stuff. I could not even fathom gathering the energy to be able to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm just day to day, just hobby kind of thing.
Hey, no worries. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think your channel is probably like the best one to like kind of like mimic that. And like you're setting the standards in form of that, because for someone like me that gets like analytic crazy and it's like, what can I do to like, you know, get better views, better click through rate and this and that. Like I pay attention to that so much. But I love for you listen to like smaller bands, which I commend to. Like, I think it's so awesome that you do that. But even that, like, even some of the random stuff that you do, like the karaoke stuff, which I thought is so unique to do for yourself. Especially, I watched your last one that you sent me, because we talked a little bit on Instagram, and the Blink-182 Damn It one was just hilarious. And the video that you made for it was just so nostalgic. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of cringy sometimes. Sometimes I put a little more effort into them. You know, I'll have like a few beers one day, and the song will pop into my head, like, oh, I kind of know the words to that, and I'll just edit like an AMV or something like that to it. It's kind of evolved over time. They don't get a lot of views, but I have so much fun doing them, and I like watching them back. So I just keep doing that shit regardless. Like you said, like analytics and stuff. If I was following analytics, I probably would have an even more popular channel. You know, maybe even have more viewers. But I kind of just at a point, it was just like, I'm just doing this exactly for me. You know, if people happen to enjoy it, that's great. But I'm not going to basically let the viewership like dictate what I do on my channel. It's just, like I said, it's not really professional. It's just a hobby thing.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm not checking out the stuff that I want to check out, then it'll get boring for me personally.
No, that's awesome. Honestly, I think that's the way it should be. And I feel like that's what I started off with as well. Just doing this kind of stuff. Like for me, I just wanted to catch up on new music and everything. And like I grew up with a little bit more of the metalcore scene, but I did grow up in high school with, you know, the Blink-182, Sum 41, a little bit more into punk rock kind of vibes and stuff like that. So it kind of leads into my next question. Like is metalcore always been your thing on the channel, or like even deathcore? I feel like you've been dibble-dabbling a lot into deathcore now, especially with Brand of Sacrifice. And I like, man, that song just went fucking ham. But like, were you always into the deathcore scene, or like, did you do reactions always with music, or like, how far back did you kind of start with YouTube in that? Like, what'd you start with?
I started back in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know really what I wanted to do. For most part, it was just going to be like movie and like TV show and video game trailer reactions and stuff, and other, you know, like fat bearded guy checking out Marvel trailers and shit like that. That's what I watched. I was a big fan of those reaction channels. No idea whatsoever it was going to turn into a music thing. I did like one like drum solo reaction, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. People asking me to check shit out. I hadn't seen a whole lot of people doing like metal reactions on YouTube at the time. Yeah, it kind of just became that thing. It became like a way for me to actually, like you said, kind of catch up on the things that I missed, because I was always a punk rock guy, new metal guy. I knew a lot of metal bands, but it was like big four kind of guys, like Metallica and like Iron Maiden and like fucking, I'm just forgetting the last one I was going to say. Anyway, like the bigger named bands, like your friends would tell you about. So it was kind of like a journey through metal, through like the genres of metal. You know, starting off with like mellow death and stuff like that. Eventually, became metalcore, but deathcore just kind of sits in the perfect pocket for me. And like being like a punk rock and hardcore fan, being that like this is like death metal and hardcore blended all into one, and it's just evolving, you know, even till today. But yeah, it's the perfect seat in the pocket. Like it's like the speed and aggression of it is just, that's like my end all be all. Basically the end of the spectrum of like metal genres as far as like heaviness goes. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of my pocket now, is definitely deathcore. I mean, I'll check out other stuff, but I can't get enough of that shit.
Oh man, I hear you. I'm the same way, and I feel like even just doing these reactions as well, maybe you can relate a little bit too. But just actually having people show us these new deathcore bands, because like for me, metalcore was definitely the core thing for me. But like, and then I got into like Slaughter to Prevail, and it's like, holy crap! I never thought in a million years I'd be listening to this, Thy Art Is Murder, Lorna Shore, and it's just like, wow, like my palette is just really expanded in that form. So it's really freaking cool to see that stuff, man. And it's cool to see you go through that. But going through that, like, I mean, I love your videos. I've been watching quite a few of them. And over time, like, you were another one of those creators that I've like kind of picked up on. And I think everybody in the music scene, or even watches reactions, like, you're like the OG, one of the OG metal reactors. So I think it's really cool that you're on here. But like, what I find fantastic and like just so cool to see your channel with these intros and stuff like that. What kind of like inspired you to make these? Because I think they're so fun.
I think it was really just kind of the idea of work with what I have kind of idea when I started. I thought like the barrier to entry was too great. If I wanted to make reactions, that I would have to get a nice camera, get lights, and you know, like editing software and stuff like that. That I wasn't going to even bother to do it because it just seemed like too big of a deal. But then I realized that I could just record reactions with my cell phone, and I didn't have to get like a Premiere or anything like that. I just get like a kind of like backwoods editing software, which I still use to this day, is Filmora. Where was I going with that? It's just. Yeah, sorry, what was the question? Question again?
It went on to your intros and stuff, like how you kind of came up with that idea.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So basically, I didn't have like Photoshop or anything to like make like really dynamic style intros like everybody else had. So I went with the idea, well, okay, what do I have with this editing suite that I have? Like, what can I film? And it kind of became like a trend for me. Every time I came up with another idea for an intro, I've probably got like 150 different intros since I've started. That was kind of always the thing for that. And in like the beginning of my videos as well as the intro is I swear at people and call them puns and shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of it. It came from like watching old like vlogs and stuff, and even reaction channels where they would call their fans or their viewers or whatever something related to their channel.
Yeah,
like there's like a Roman Atwood. He calls guys the Romans army and shit like that. I always hated it. I thought it was so cringy. So like, it honestly ended up becoming that in the fact that I do that every time.
Yeah, it's so fun, man. Every
meme, but
yeah, like
it just kind of became the meme.
No, that's awesome. I love that as a part of that, because I look forward to like each one of your intros, because it's just a different name that you're calling somebody every single time. And then even the countdown into the intro, 1, 2, 3, it just makes me laugh every single time. So I just think it's really unique, creative, yourself. You're building brand for yourself, even though I get this isn't your full-time kind of gig or anything like that, but as for me, I've also looked up, those videos, like how to become that brand and stuff like that. So that's why I call my community, I guess, like my buds. And I kind of went off on that whole like Canadian tangent of like, we say buds a lot. Like, what's up, buds? Like,
yeah, see, that's a gimmick. That's a gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always good to have something like that. Like you just said, like I swear at people and do like the 1, 2 kind of thing and have like a tagline at the end or whatever. It's like, it's familiarity that people like to come back to and stuff like that. But yeah, I used to watch a channel called Real Rejects, and they call them call them my rejects or something like that. It's I don't know, it felt kind of cringy to me.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally understand where you're coming from. And honestly, I look back at some of my videos and like, I feel like I tried to be one of those like cringier kind of guys at the time. And I wanted to be like that Canadian Reactor, the accent, just super strong, Letterkenny kind of vibe. And I look back at that, I'm like, man, this was so fucking stupid. I'm glad that I am what I am today, because this is actually who I was, like who I am now, and not like pretending to kind of be like something more for a gimmick. So I totally understand that. What I really love about you as well, like your background is just full of stuff in the background there, for just one like quick little icebreaker thing. But like, if you could have only one, like how many hats do you have first? Do you have a number?
I mean, the last time I counted was probably like last year during COVID, because I was bored. It's probably somewhere close to 100.
Oh my god, that's so many. That's amazing.
Yeah, like if you look in the background, like you see a few on the couch that's over there, but like right below that, there's like a stack of them just piled up next to the couch. I mean, they're not expensive or anything. They're all like $20 hats. It's just I like the logos on them. Like I just got this one in, the Alex Terrible hat. And it's cool. It felt like a gimmick for me, is that I could have a hat that maybe like relates to something that I'm reacting to.
Yeah.
Maybe like have the hat of the band that I'm checking out. Is one that I have quite often. Yeah.
No.
It's become a nasty habit. I can't help myself sometimes.
Hey man, as long as it keeps you happy. And honestly, I love it, because you support a lot of the smaller bands in that way as well, and other creators. I know you have one of the bleghs as well, and I'm glad you don't have it on, because I didn't want it to be like, oh, he's coming on the podcast, he's gonna wear the blegh hat. But like, for one, I just want to say personally that now that I have you on here, is just thank you for the support. And I've been seeing that a lot with you and other creators too. Like I was scrolling through your Instagram today, and you're like, yeah, I made a drunk purchase with Tank the Tech shirt. It was so good. But like, I kind of wanted to bounce off that question there, is like, if you could keep like one hat out of maybe the 100 to 150 that you have to wear for the rest of your life, what one would that be right now?
That's easy. It's easy. It's the only one that I paid a bunch of money for, was the one that just says "fuck" right across it.
Yes.
I actually got like I had that custom printed because I couldn't find a website anywhere that actually like sold hats like that, so I had to have it custom printed. So yeah, that one was a little bit expensive, but that would be the one probably, just because it's so funny to me. Like when I wear it in public, like the looks I get from people, it's totally worth it every single time.
I totally agree. I think I had like an older fella, like I was walking into the grocery store and he read my hat, and like obviously I wear my BLEGH shit all out there, but he's like, what does BLEGH mean? What is BLEGH? And I've had like a little bit of a brain fart. I'm like, I didn't really know how to explain it to like this 80-year-old guy coming out of the grocery store. I'm like, it's a metal term that people kind of yell before a heavy part comes on. I'm like, I couldn't really explain it off the top of my head, but I love the hats, man.
It's the noise it's the noise that you make right before you're gonna throw up.
Yeah,
throwing up.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Basically, yeah, and then we do throw up because it's a nasty breakdown at that point.
That's one of my favorite things about your channel is your endless hunt for the BLEGH. And I see you on like TikTok and stuff, dude. Like, oh, sometimes I see those videos on TikTok and I'm like, shit, I wish I didn't see that because that song sounds fucking sick. And now I can't react to it because I've heard it.
I'm so sorry. That's the worst.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great and worse at the same time. I mean, like, and they're small bands too. I think a lot. That's why I really like going on Twitch and like the community that we build. They show me all these bands and they're hunting for all these blasts, and it's just cool that I could actually have like a platform like TikTok, which is mind blowing, by the way. And like I can post like a small band that no one's ever heard of before and get like 300,000 views. And it's just like, wow, it just blows my mind in that I could help a band in that sense. So yeah, I understand with the TikTok thing. Cause like I like going into other streamers, like other Reactor streams, but sometimes they're reacting. Like I know Metal Burb's one of them too. And I'm like, all right, I said hello. I'm like, I can't be here. You're reacting to stuff that I need to react to. So is there anything that you would do a little bit more different in the YouTube world? Like, would you consider doing like streaming and stuff? I know you said like that's maybe a little out of your vision there, but if you had the chance to go full time with this stuff, would you do that, or would you aim to do that?
You know, I've been asked a question before. Would you do it to get paid for it because you like it so much? I feel like it takes a certain kind of person to be able to do that. I don't think that I could. I feel like I'd eventually not like it anymore. I'd be like just overwhelmed. I like the fact that I just do one video a day. You know, like if I like, obviously like I could do streams and stuff and they would probably do well. I've had people ask before for me to do that and to do merch, you know, and like, just like all the outreach stuff like TikTok and shit like that. I don't have the energy for it, to be honest.
I don't blame you.
Like I said, dude, like I said to you, like a couple hours after I get home from work, working night shift, I'm fucking useless and done, you know, and that's also a problem as well. It's like a lot of people are still at work when I'm ready to do a stream or something like that. So I would have to like go out of my way to change my sleep habits and be up late at night to you know, in the afternoon when people are home, actually get viewership on streams. I thought about doing that for gaming and shit as well.
Yeah.
But it's another thing as well, is I would have to get myself a PC. I only have a laptop. Like, you can see my camera's probably shit because I'm on the old school laptop webcam. Yeah. So I'd have to get like a and I'd have to learn all that stuff to get like a mic set up and then all that shit. And I was just like, I like that I keep it as simple as it is, and that I'm doing what I'm doing this exact same way that I did when I started. Just my cell phone on a couple of boxes on my coffee table, and really like really cheap editing software that I haven't paid more than I paid $50 for the thing when I got it 6 years ago, and I haven't put any more money into it since then. And it's just wicked. It's at the same time, it's kind of not great because I'm not really evolving with what like a YouTuber is right now. Like I said, like streaming and the TikTok and all that stuff. You know, I'm kind of like old school in that way. But if it was any more like difficult, like technically in editing or anything, I probably wouldn't have continued it for longer than a year. It's the fact that I can record, edit, and upload a video in like an hour and a half is what makes it, you know, appealing to me, because I can just get it done real quick, enjoy the music, and get it out there to people who want to hear it, you know, regardless of how big or small the band is. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, to this point, that's more or less why I keep doing it, is because it continues to be fun. Continue to find great bands, like you said, like the smaller bands are some of the better bands that are out there, especially in like deathcore and shit, because they're the ones that are like in the trenches and trying to evolve the scene.
Yeah,
Like Brand of Sacrifice, for one, they're a lot bigger now, but I mean, in comparison to a lot of other deathcore bands that are out there, they're not as big of a name, but they're the ones that are like evolving the scene and making it different. Like that new track was fucking my favorite track of theirs so far, not just because it's the most recent one that I've heard. It's just like the evolution that the band has come through just themselves, but like for the genre as well, and like taking cleans and putting it in there like an anime theme song in the middle of a fucking deathcore track.
Yeah.
And it works. Fuck yes.
It did work. I was very happy with that, man, and so shocked. I'm like, wow. I'm like, Kyle. Like we heard a little bit of Kyle's cleans in one of their songs with what's his name, Spencer Chamberlain, in one of the new albums, and I thought it was really fucking cool because like I couldn't really decipher, and like just seeing his face, you already know what he screams like, and then you hear those cleans. I'm like, man, this is so fun to hear. I got mind boggled on that one. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Did you see the fucking the cover he did with Nick Nocturnal of that Attack on Titan intro?
No, I didn't see that one yet. No, the only one I saw with Nick was the one with Will Ramos so far. It must have been through a period where like it was just a lot of big releases and stuff. I feel like that's what's the toughest part about being a YouTuber.
Well, he did the intro to Attack on Titan anime with Nick Nocturnal. He did entirely cleans. Through the whole. That's where I first heard it. So I knew he had them. I had no idea they were coming on this track.
Oh, okay. Now I have to go back. Like I'm a huge Brand of Sacrifice fan now. Like ever since Demon King came out, I'm like, that's what really turned me on to these guys. And from them being from Toronto, it's like, wow, like why haven't we heard this band before? So yeah, I'll definitely have to check that one out. I really do. I'm glad you brought that up so I can go do that one now. But where was I on this thing? Yeah, you were kind of talking about a little bit of, just being a simple guy. I'm a little bit more old school in a way. And I love and absolutely am so jealous that the way that your editing style is what it is. Because the amount of shit and work that I put into this, it's like, man, I wish I can just have a box and just upload. It would just make my life so much easier. But I know I had a couple of questions from the people in the community here, but they were asking like, kind of what you were using and stuff in terms of gear breakdown for your videos and that. So like, I know you mentioned like you do everything off your phone, so you don't even have a camera. You have a snowball mic as well. What's your lighting setup like? You're using like just natural light or like, I don't know. Explain what your kind of process is with that.
It was my cell phone is my camera and my audio. I don't even use the blue mic for my audio.
Oh shit, okay.
So I just even my karaoke's and stuff, it's just with the cell phone audio and camera. And lighting, I've got a couple of lights. I've got like one of those umbrella ones for soft light.
Nice.
And an old school like 1970s camera, or what do you call it? Photography light, but my dad had. That's the one that's on me right now. That's just beating bright light. I have it pretty close to my face. So yeah, the way the cell phone picks it up is like it basically straight focuses on me with the light, and then the background kind of gets a little bit darker. So that works out. So yeah, it's the front-facing camera on my cell phone, and in my editing suite, there's a little button that says autocorrect, which sharpens and balances all the color and everything.
Yes.
So it looks, even though the camera looks like not great, it looks as good as it possibly can.
Well,
So that, man, for gear setup, like I said, my cell phone sits on the same 3 boxes I've had to sit it on for 6 years.
Doesn't even have a tripod. He has boxes. This is amazing. See, I love that shit because when I first started out, I literally had tinfoil stuffed in boxes with just a light in there with a duotang binder that was clear just for the softbox. And I just love that just rigged up system.
That's what I did at the start too. Actually, I had a table lamp that I took the shade off of, and I put some tinfoil and almost like a bowl shape in behind it so that it would kind of shine on me. Because I used to use direct sunlight. I got right next to me is my balcony door. Because I do my videos in the morning, the sun rises right in my window. So that was my light. in the early days, but like eventually I was just like, I gotta have something. Like I said, I got that hand me down I found in my mom's basement one year when I was back home, and it's been working fine for me. I haven't put more, yeah, like I said, more than $50 buying my editing suite since I started doing my channel. So it's, I think I'm batting 100 for that. But I'd like to have a nice camera and everything and a great setup and all that. But I mean, it's too much work for me.
It is.
So I just put a couple boxes down and my cell phone's up and I can just get going right away. I don't got to worry about nothing else. In and out in like 30 minutes, and I guess that's just the way I'll continue to do it.
Man, that's so awesome. And I'm glad to hear that. And I love hearing like the early stages, even how people start like that. So like to see like you've been doing this since 2016 and you're still using the same three boxes just to hold up your phone. Like I guess you upgrade your phone over time, but that's just so cool. Even so the front facing, so the screen facing, that's the one that you're using. You're not even like using the other side, like the good side.
Yeah, that's the fucked up thing, is that the other side can like film in like 4K and shit. Yeah. But then I can't like, I could like frame it up or whatever, but the way it like leans against like the boxes that I have, and, like a couple of books on top, I wouldn't be able to frame it right. And then I'd like to be able to see myself while I'm recording, just make sure that I'm like in frame and everything. So like I said, the way that like the editing software works, it cleans up the shitty kind of look of the front facing camera, at least enough to where it looks acceptable. When it, by the time, compression happens on YouTube, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But you could definitely tell. I mean, like from watching one of my videos to watching one of yours or Burb's videos, that you guys definitely have like a DSLR or something like that, facing you.
Honestly,
nice mic setup and stuff, but
I did not notice that at all. I honestly thought like you just had like an actual camera and everything. So it's cool that you're using the phone in that. And if whoever's listening, like, and thinking about starting to do reactions, like, there you go. Like, and I've been meaning to make a video on this too, just to be like, you don't need much to start a reaction channel. Like your cell phone is pretty much there. A little bit of a like editing software, like you said, you pay $50 for it a couple years ago. Like you don't need much, and maybe a softbox, which you could find on like Amazon for like maybe 25 to $50, or find one online, or like a Facebook marketplace or something. So yeah, it's really cool that you're still in that mode, because I really respect that in a way, because like every video I feel like I'm setting up lights differently, different colors in the background, and I'm like, what can I do to make quality stuff just better? And honestly, it just goes to showing your channel is one of them. There's like, and not to like like say that your stuff doesn't have like quality, but like you don't need much to be a YouTuber. And I think that's very important to see, and especially for myself, that I just wish that people would kind of see, like, you don't need the expensive cameras, you don't need this expensive mics, you can do exactly what you're doing right now, and it works, and like it's crazy. It is crazy, but I love it. I know you're a little bit of a what's the right word to say? I don't want to say like nerd in a negative way, but like, I know you're a nerdy guy, and I know you like Star Wars and stuff like that. And I'm sure you're okay with that term, but like your Star Wars and that, I had somebody else from my community ask me, like, I don't watch a lot of Star Wars. The first couple Mandalorian series I started watching, I've seen all the original ones, I think maybe the first 3, and then up to like episode 1, and then I just stopped. But I had a question from someone from my community saying like what are your thoughts on the new Star Wars content as a whole?
The movies are good and not good. I mean, they're fun, and they're pretty. They're pretty. They're nice to look at, but the story-wise, they're a little bit iffy. I gotta say that like they're hitting their stride when it comes to the Disney Plus stuff with the Obi-Wan and Mandalorian. Like you said, Boba Fett was a little but I think that's where they're definitely hitting their stride. Obi-Wan was fucking unreal.
Oh, I still have to see that one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even not even being like a huge Star Wars fan, just seeing that, like, especially if you've seen, like you said, the original trilogy, this is like such a fucking huge payoff, and it's like not only is it beautiful, not only so like that it's just like so beautiful, but it's like it's so well written and just well crafted. So if like you're like an uber nerd, you can pick up on all the nuances, but if you're just casual watcher, you can still get in like a lot of enjoyment out of it. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, if you got Disney Plus, it's 100% worth checking it out, unless you want to just like rip it on a torrent or something like that.
Yeah, no one rips torrents. Come on.
No,
Everyone pays
no.
for Adobe Premiere and Photoshop. What are you talking about?
Well, you don't?
No, of course I have a subscription.
That's what scared me away, man. I was like $30 a month for Photoshop. That's what it was when I looked, $30 a month.
Yeah.
For Photoshop. Yeah, I was just like, no.
It is a lot for sure. And I guess, I mean, now if I were to do that, and that's the thing, like and I just found this out not too long ago because I have a couple editors on hand now with my whole YouTube channel and kind of helping managing some emails and that. But they have new Macs and they're no, I guess Mac has this thing set up now that you can't actually download pirated software. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, so Premiere you actually have to pay for. Kind of sucks.
Like it makes sense if like you're doing it full time, you're making money. That's the benefit that you get out of that, right? Like if I was doing like I had a Patreon or something that was paying for that, of course I'll get like Premiere, but I don't want to do that either. I don't want to like. I heard some people like restricting content from their viewers, like Patreon only stuff. I could never do that. I was asked if I would do that kind of stuff. I could. I don't know if I could ever make money doing it. I feel like that would probably influence how I did the content. Like I guess it would kind of have to, like you said, like, you know, following analytics and seeing what people are actually watching, for how long they're watching and how you could change it. I understand all of that, and I could have done that from the beginning. Like I could have stuck with just checking out Japanese metal bands since I started, which was what got my channel kind of off the ground for subscribers.
Yeah,
I could have just done that. I'm the guy who does Japanese metal bands from now on, right? But I was like, it doesn't feel right, you know. I'm just gonna do what I want, you know. And if enough people ask me to check out a band, I'll check that out. But yeah, I mean, what you guys do is unreal. I mean, even some of the guys that I talk to that it's like two guys or whatever. Even if it's like one person, they'll sit down and record like a dozen reactions in one day.
Yeah,
like just sit down for like hours and record all those reactions. Like I do one reaction and my energy is gone. That's it. I've been, you know, couch dancing for 10 minutes and now I'm done. That's it.
Couch dancing. I love that. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I as soon as a new song drops, I'm usually on it as soon as it drops. I don't even have time to like have a bunch backed up to record. I think that's what my Twitch stream is, I guess, a little bit more geared towards. I can bang off a lot of new bands and stuff like that, and there's something there that I like, I can get out. But yeah, sitting there, even for like doing 40 songs in a row on my Twitch streams and like giving it my full energy and that, like I had to smash, you know, a Red Bull and stuff in behind and just get ready and focus, a pre-workout at that. And then even that, like I do that at like 5 p.m. So like in the morning, I'm already filming like 2 videos at least for YouTube that are good quality, working on TikTok. So yeah, it gets draining for sure. So I'm glad that you kind of do the one video for that kind of thing. I mean, it's healthy for you as a person first and foremost, but just having it doing what you want to do. I mean, I could have done the same thing, but I felt the same way when it came down to like the Japanese metal band. I could have done a bunch of baby metal stuff, a bunch of Alipita, Nightwish, stuff like that I could have 150,000 subscribers right now if I really wanted to. And I think I had that mindset when I first started where I'm like, blow up, blow up, blow up. And I'm like, this is not exactly what I like to do. Once in a while, it's not bad. But when, you know, I want to listen to the bands that I really like and enjoy. So I think that's what really makes a channel very strong at the same time, too. I don't know if you agree on that. Oh, I'm sure you do. You kind of said it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, it's like the, I guess, formula that I take with my videos and like the selection of what bands I check out is usually first, like emails and DMs from bands I'll check first.
Oh, nice.
What do you call it? Just like For You page for me. Like sometimes I'll just see something that looks interesting and I'll, you know, screen grab it on YouTube as a band to check out. And then obviously, like if people in the comments are asking for a certain band enough, or see something in there that just sounds interesting, I'll go there as well. But yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of bands that I've like reacted to that never made a video, because I'll sit down, I'll check my screenshots, I'm like, oh, that's the next one I'll check out. I think of like an intro to the band, and I'll hit play, and I'll know like within 10 to 20 seconds if it's going to make a video or not. If I know I'm going to like the song, obviously, like I'm not going to not critique something.
Yeah.
There's like plenty of videos where like I critique stuff, but I prefer to have something to upload that I at least kind of like, if not love, to introduce people to the music that I'm like, I guess I'm kind of sifting through the crap, you know? So if I hear something that just kind of sounds generic and boring, I'll say, okay, stop. I'll go on to the next thing. So that way, like pretty much anytime somebody comes to my channel, if they're into metal at all, they'll probably have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe disagree with me with some of my criticisms or whatever, but at least they, you know, you can kind of gauge that you're probably going to have a good time with the song.
No, and that's what makes me happy. And I actually, as you're kind of saying that, which, you know, that's the hardest thing, I guess, about putting new bands out there as well. Like, you kind of have to, like, hear it or sift through it kind of as well. Like, for myself, like, now it's different. Like, now I actually have somebody help me with my emails, and I literally like forward them the emails. Hey, screen this, because I trust their instincts of like, hey, can I make some content out of this? Am I going to like this? Is there a nasty breakdown kind of thing? Like, it has to fit the channel. So but before that, I would have to like maybe take like 30 seconds just to kind of skim through it, just to make sure that it was actually like appropriate for the channel, appropriate for our viewers and stuff like that. But coming off of that question, as just something off my head, but what is something that you could give to bands right now that are listening, possibly? Like, what would you like to see different in people's emails to kind of keep your attention into actually checking out their music? Because, like, for myself, I get a lot of DMs and emails and stuff like that where they just kind of drop the link and say, like, hey, check out my band, and then that's it. Like, is there anything that you could maybe give some advice to some of these smaller bands to maybe possibly get a potential reaction out of us reactors in this scene?
I think it kind of like lends to what you were just said there, is when somebody just drops the link and says, hey, can you check out my band? Chances are I probably won't. Mm-hmm. When it's a little bit more personalized, like, hey, we've been watching your channel for like 2 years. We really like it. We got this new song coming out in a couple of weeks. You think you could check it out? You know, like if it's a little bit more personalized like that, if it feels more like you actually care, not that you're. I know that they're farming it out to every reactor that they can.
Yeah.
So like I understand that. But when it feels like it's a little bit more personalized, it makes me feel like I want to check it out a little bit more.
Yeah, no, that's really good to hear, because I feel like that's the same thing, and I think I had this conversation with Matt as well, and I'm just kind of curious to see, and just I want to help bands as well. It's not that I just want to help them push it out. It's like, even if they're listening, or maybe they have something coming out that's going to be so good, it's like, hey, just take a couple seconds to actually, you know, write up the email and make it a little bit more personalized, like you said. So I'm glad that you think the same way, and I think a lot of the reactors do as well. On your Instagram and stuff like that, I know I'm bouncing back and forth for like personal on that. I had a bunch of stuff listed here.
Oh, you're good. You're
yeah,
good.
and I think it just makes it interesting. It's like, you know, everyone, you have to watch this whole thing. But you have a lot of like photos and stuff like that of like this 12-sided dice stuff. Like, I'm like, do you play like Dungeons and Dragons, like Magic the Gathering? Like, what is that? Like, what's the nerd out game that you're kind of on right now with these dice? I'm kind of curious.
It's it's Dungeons and Dragons. I picked it up like in 2020. I've seen some other stuff like on some channels that I watched and playing Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't really understand it that much. It didn't seem that enjoyable to me until I found I don't know if you heard of Critical Role. That's a YouTube channel. They do Dungeons and Dragons. They're like basically the top tier for YouTube, streaming, Twitch and stuff like that. For Dungeons and Dragons, they do like their video podcasts with like 4-hour episodes of it. And during the pandemic, I started watching that, and I got hooked. I got absolutely hooked. It's just like the role playing, the improvisation, like playing a character, doing a voice and stuff like that. Because I kind of been into voice acting for a while. I became just obsessed with D&D from then on. Yeah, 2020, just insane. Yeah, so like I bought that dice is actually from Critical Role. It's got their logo on my shirt.
Oh, that makes sense then. That's really cool. Yeah. So I'm guessing you checked out the new Chelsea Grin video with the D&D video that they made. Man, that was really cool, and I was kind of wondering what if there was any ties and stuff like that. But apparently, Trevor was a kind of a bigger D&D person as well that I've kind of learned from people in the comments. So that's really neat, man. I didn't think that would be you kind of. I thought you played like Magic the Gathering or something like that. I used to be a huge like collector of that back in the day.
I never played it. I've seen some like streams and stuff of people playing it. The card games it's not really my thing.
Not even Pokemon?
Because like I said, like it's oh geez, no, that was that was way after my time, man.
Come on.
I was like 5 years out from that. I played Pogs.
Pogs, yes, I was a Pog guy too, and Crazy Bones. I don't know if you did that, but yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I love this. Another question I got here for you, like, has there been like any negativity? Has there been like a negative impact on YouTube? Say like for like trolls, maybe shitty comments, maybe just even music being disappointed, the grindy. I mean, we already know the algorithm stuff you don't really care about, but sometimes like people like me, sometimes that can get me down. But is there any like a negative impact for you even just doing YouTube for a hobby here?
I wouldn't say really that there is. I mean, except for the fact that I just got a copyright strike on the weekend.
No.
Yeah, a pain in the ass from a video I made like a year ago, and it was claimed it was fine by like for the music itself, and then some like random, I don't know who it is, like I don't remember the name of it for the claim takedown. Gave me a strike for something that had already been claimed, and I didn't bother to like refute it because I'm scared of being sued or something. So I just deleted anything else that I'd done by that band in case they try to come after that as well. I think it's one of those like companies that goes around just doing that or something. I've heard like the rumors that there's people that go around just to fuck with people, but
interesting.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But I don't really have any negative any negativity coming from YouTube. Maybe like the first year or two that I did it, I was getting like really shitty comments, people telling me to kill myself and shit.
Holy
but
fuck.
I just kind of let that go, and well, it was one kid really that said it.
Okay.
He was just like, he was like there's mean comments, but this was the worst one. He's just like, your channel sucks. I'm not your bud or whatever I called him in the video, and he said you should go and kill yourself. So I just typed yes or okay. I typed in okay, and then I just left it, and he just kept commenting afterwards, like comment after comment, like I'm just kidding, I was just trolling, I'm just kidding, don't do it. And I just left him to sit there and stew in that. But yeah, I think like
hopefully lesson learned.
The only other times like I guess like the only other times I received like real negative response from people is when I was insanely critical of some music, like just shit on it, which is another reason why I don't like to put out reactions to stuff that I don't end up liking.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I'll do the intro, I'll hit play, and I'll start listening, and like, if that's not good, I'll just delete that recording and start the next thing, because like there was a band called Savatage, like a 80s hair metal type of band, and the song was so boring and so long. The video was kind of funny, and I was just laughing at the tropes of like the 80s and shit, and then I just shit on the song basically afterward. And I like to this day I will get comments from a fucking 5-year-old video of like old heads like listening to this reaction and being like, this guitarist is like, he was in all these bands and he was influential to everybody. I'm like, yeah, it's great. The song was still fucking boring.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also kind of felt like on YouTube, the whole copyright thing, that a band and publisher are allowing me to basically piggyback off of their popularity to get notoriety on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially how I feel about like reactions. Is that like somebody who's not familiar with me and sees my video, it's because of the name of the band that I'm checking out. Most of the time, my videos are recommended to people, so I'm getting popularity on my channel, piggybacking off of a band. Why do I want to like just shit on them?
Yeah,
I'd rather
it's
just
not fair
pretend,
for sure.
Pretend I never heard it and just delete it if I didn't like it, right? But
yeah, I feel like even with some of us YouTubers that do reactions, I feel like we try to play it really safe as well. I mean, at least I do. And even that it can have like a negative impact to somebody that's watching. Like even Lorna Shore, like the first couple, the first song that kind of came out, great, blah, blah, blah. And then, they started releasing stuff for their new album. And it's like, okay, well, that breakdown really kind of sounded like the other breakdown, almost like the same structure, even the song, the melody and stuff. And I said something like that, and it's like, oh, you just hate Lorna. And they take it out of perspective. And then obviously when I listened to the new Lorna Shore album, it was fucking amazing. And I can see why, you know, it blends all together and stuff like that. But yeah, it sucks to shit on bands, man. Like, I mean, I can do a reaction on your band, but like, I don't want to post it to be that guy to shit on it. I gave it criticism, but also talk about a little bit more of the positivity stuff as well. So it's hard. It's definitely hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of going through a couple more questions here that I got for you. I'm kind of deleting them because we've kind of been going through them already, which is awesome. It makes it flow. Yeah, we already did like starting up for YouTube and stuff like that. Let's kind of get into phone call. Is it mom?
No, my friggin' DMs are blowing up.
Oh shit! They know you're on this podcast. No, I'm kidding. No one's DMing anybody about this.
No, I think it's because of the new video that went. The Alex Terrible video just went up.
Oh, nice.
An hour ago.
There you go.
I'm getting a bunch of fucking. Yeah, I just got 3 new requests for bands to check out.
Sick. No, that's perfect. So what is something you would love for your viewers to know about you that they might not know? Is there something out there that would be like, oh, I would love to tell my viewers about such and such, or like something that I wish my viewers just kind of knew? I don't know. That's kind of a different question, but
that I'm fat and I like opera music and some musicals.
You like musicals?
Like dark stuff. I love that shit, man. Like not like happy, like happy-go-lucky kind of stuff.
Right.
But like Sweeney Todd, like Phantom of the Opera, and fucking shit like that.
That's
I love
cool.
that kind of stuff.
That's neat. Have you ever been to like a musical thing? I've been to one. It was a long time ago, and it was like a Green Day. I don't know what to call it. Maybe a musical, like a Broadway kind of show. Like sang Green Day songs, but they're like acting and this and that in this like performance. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've been to Phantom of the Opera 3 times.
Wow, that's neat.
I've seen
it makes
Evil
sense.
Dead the musical. You've seen Evil Dead the musical is amazing. Rocky Horror Picture Show, I've seen that a bunch of times. I've had friends that were in like productions here in London where I'm at that have done that. So that's another one. I haven't actually been live to them, but there's like movies that are out there that are musicals that are amazing. There's one that was called like Anna and the Apocalypse or something like that. It was something that came up on like Netflix. And it's a zombie like children's coming of age zombie musical thing, like violence and like killing zombies and shit.
Oh my god.
It's amazing. I'm a big fan of all kinds of different music. I like classical music as well as punk rock and metal, no country obviously, but even some pop stuff here and there. I'm a fan of, not most recently anyway when it comes to that, but indie stuff, folk stuff. So
no, right on.
Kind of like all across the spectrum, I'd say.
No, that's good. Yeah. I think that's important too, especially for us metalheads and people that are obviously doing these reactions, giving reviews and whatnot to these bands, because we can kind of pick out those little senses of, classic rock, EDM or something like that. Something crazy that we've already been listening to all our lives and stuff. Like there was one, I can't remember what fucking song it was, but it had like some Queen vibes. And I'm like, yo, like this is really fucking cool that they threw like, he sounded like Freddie Mercury in it. And I'm like, this is really, and Motionless in White. I don't know if you checked out the werewolf song. Have you checked that out yet?
Yeah, I saw your video on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's just crazy. Like the Michael Jackson references, even Chris's voice in there. So like, I think it's really cool that you listen to a lot of different stuff. Country, well, we can leave that out. I'm not a country fan either, but I don't hate it.
Like old school. Like old school country is okay, like Johnny Cash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like Willie Nelson, stuff that like my mom used to listen to at the house when I was growing up. That stuff's cool. But like all like the stadium country and stuff that comes out now, it's all just repetitive garbage. I mean, as much as like music can be repetitive in genres, but
yeah,
it's no go. But yeah, the theatrical stuff is awesome, especially when it comes to metal bands, not just like musically, but like visually as well. Like Tala is like so theatrical and interesting to watch, especially when you see like, if you ever seen some of their live stuff on YouTube, fucking Justin is another fucking character to behold, man. To see that band live be insane.
I think they're dropping, for one, they're dropping their album next week for Tala, which I'm stoked for. I mean, the last song was so much fun. But yeah, I think they have a new song that's dropping either today or later today or tomorrow. I know it's like coming up in this week. They're dropping a new song, so keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, Justin is insane, and I love that. So did you check out the new Jared Dine song with Justin in it? That was really neat. Yeah. Like they kind of took that perspective of like theatrical stuff. So it's cool that you say that and you pick up on these things. And for you to love that kind of stuff, it must have been a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, man, that's funny. I think that's the only vocal feature on the whole new album from Jared was him. I think all the rest of the features are like guitarists and shit.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't notice that. I thought that there was some. No, I mean, I think Austin Dickey is on one as well. I could be wrong. It's been a minute since I looked at it, but I could see him obviously being on there. But man, I would love to hear Howard Jones on something again. But yeah, I'm excited for that Jared Dines thing. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Going on to I'll kind of wrap it up with this and maybe talk a little bit about metal as we kind of roll out here. But top metal bands right now that are up and coming. What's on your radar?
Oh man! I thought maybe you would bring that up. I thought maybe I should go through my videos to remember some names and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to Dan Watson's new project. Higher Lore. I don't know if you checked that out.
A couple songs, yeah. It's actually really good.
I'm looking forward to. I guess there's supposed to be an album coming out at some point. That's another project. I guess that is really taking off, in my personal opinion, as an evolutionary kind of thing when it comes to deathcore, bringing cleans in as well. And then the whole idea of this, the internet culture for metal now is that two guys can be an entire band and sell their music and merch and stuff like that, and music videos. It's just insane to me. There's so many projects that are out, Termino with Nick Nocturnal and
prime example.
And that it's fucking just two people that are creating this insane music and getting the outreach that a band that I used to go and see in the scene would have died for.
Yeah.
Just doing the same 3-county tour fucking every year, to the same people all the time. And now you can just throw your music all the way out there to Spotify and YouTube and become super big if you're any good, So that's what's amazing to me. I love finding those projects when they get sent to me, the smaller stuff, because I know I can do the bigger bands, even if it's a band that I don't like, and react to it and then just kind of shit on it afterward and get all the views and get subscribers and stuff like that. But I'm all about just finding new and fun and cool music and not only enjoying it myself, but then just handing it out to everybody that watches my channel and seeing what they think of it. Because I think there's so many bands that deserve more recognition than a lot of these bigger bands that are getting hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. This other video's got 700 views. It's this is
amazing,
fucking insane.
Yeah.
What's going one of my favorites from Italy? They're called Despite Exile. I've reacted to them a ton of times on YouTube, and a lot of their older stuff has got way more traction than the brand new stuff that they're putting out right now. And I'm asking them, what's going on your end, or what's going on with YouTube that you're not getting the all these views that you used to get? We don't know. We have no idea what's going on. They get 100,000 views in 2 weeks on their videos before, and now it's 2,000. My reaction got more views than theirs in 2 days.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny how that kind of happens too. I think I saw even Nick Nocturnal, sometimes even when he did Lorna Shore, I think for the first half a day to a day, he had more views on his reaction channel than Lorna Shore did on their music video. I'm that's insane. So even with small bands like that too, I have a lot of band members that are in our community, and some of them are just man, you posted up your video to our reaction and you already have more views than us, than our actual music video. I'm I'm trying to push this shit out for you guys. So it's cool to see that. And some of these upcoming bands and projects, especially, I would love to get Andy Sizik on for an interview as well, because he's in the touring world, but yet in that other sit down in the room, record everything type deal. So it'd be cool to kind of hear his perspective on that as well. But yeah, you're absolutely right. These people right now, these project bands. I didn't know Mirror Lure was a project like that. We just checked out a song last night, I think it was called like Abandon the Band, and Dan Watson was actually in that one of the songs, and disgusting vocals. Like the guy's a really good vocalist for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just I can't remember the name of the guy that's working with him. He does all the instrumentation, and obviously Dan does the vocals on it. And it's so good, and the mask that he wears is awesome. Like
that is cool.
A cool gimmick.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, like the Alex Terrible thing, and the mouth moves and everything. So I feel like that kind of thing could take off. It's so cool that you can just create a project band, and then just like if it blows up, you can bring other people in and go on tour. Hire people on to go on tour with you and make money that way too, right? Or not even. I hear about bands and projects making a ton of money just from doing their own thing, on Spotify and what have you. But yeah, that's amazing. I wish I had any kind of musical talent.
Man, I'm the same way. Like I love when you do your karaoke vocals too, because it kind of like it makes me want to do something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm too shy to put vocals out there right now. I used to be a vocalist in a band like when I was like 16, play a little guitar and stuff like that. But like I really fell in love with the screaming side of things. But I would love to. I might one day. We have a small condo here. It's like 750 square feet, barely. And I don't feel like screaming in this environment right now. So, but I think it's just cool, dude. I think you have an amazing channel. I think you're obviously helping people just build their playlists. You're helping bands. And more importantly, I think you probably have some of these stories as well. It's just helping people get through some of the tough times, especially with COVID happening. A lot of people are kind of entering these depression moods, or even getting diagnosed with it, which I've talked to Matt as well going through COVID. He said he developed some depression and had to get treated and stuff for it. I'm like, that's crazy. So like, our reactions are really helping people in so many different ways. And I think that is the most important thing. As much as I can make, a couple dollars doing album reviews and throwing it up on Patreon. I know you don't like that. I'm sorry. But, and then like even YouTube ad revenues, which we don't make barely any money. Like I think with the 1,300 videos that I have, I might make $500 for the month out of like the ad revenue, and doing this for 3 years. So it's like, it's not a lot at all. And I can't imagine what your numbers are, and you don't have to share it with me, but it's just crazy the impact that we can actually make in this metal scene with people like us. So I just love it, dude. I don't know. Like, I don't know how excited you are about it, but I'm so pumped about it.
No, I get you. I do it because I love it too. I'll tell you my numbers. It's 0. I've never monetized a single video that is on the channel. Even like when it's like smaller bands that don't get that don't have like a copyright claim, I just never got into that side of it because I didn't want the headache. Honestly, I'm too lazy to think about like a business side of it. Like, so I never even
fair enough.
AdSense or anything. And the fact that like 95% of my videos are copyright claimed is kind of a thing that kind of deters me from doing that. Like I said, like people ask me, do you want to do like a Patreon? Like I pay for a Patreon for your channel. I like your stuff and I pay for it. It's like, that's cool. I appreciate that, but I don't want any of that. I like the fact, like I said, the record, edit, upload a video, and then just let it go.
Dude,
that's it. That's the day.
It's definitely the way to go, man. It is a lot of headaches, and I can definitely attest to that. I mean, I guess I'm a very business-minded person. Before I did all this stuff too, I have my own window tinting company. I have my own graphic company as well, tied into that.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to run a financial firm as well, and did all that, and very business minded since I was like 16, I think. And this is kind of how it started. Like I'd be the kid in school jamming earphones in people's ears saying like, check out this band I found on MySpace. That was like our form of promoting bands back in the day. And it's just kind of cool to be able to do that now. But yeah, I did a lot of business of it. And like, I used to host concerts and stuff like that back in the day. So I don't know if you're familiar with Hamilton or even went to shows there, but like at the Casbah there, I used to run shows all the time, put my band on the bill with some of these other bands. So like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make money on the door here. I'm going to sell tickets as well. So I'm going to be making that from this and that, pay the band, so I had this big business mindset. Like, and that's how I kind of got into graphic design and photography as well. used to do photos for bands. I charge them like 50, 60 bucks for, you know, the set of photos for them. And then $100 tier one for like doing band promos. Did stuff for like Protest the Hero back in the day. Straight Reads the Line. I don't know if you ever really heard them. Yeah, so like Blake Prince and stuff, I'm like good friends with him. Well, not good friends anymore. Like I used to know him well in the scene there. And then, yeah, it just kind of was like that. I did MySpace layouts and everything for bands back in the day. So I had this just mindset of a lot of business stuff that went through. But yeah, window tinting was like my last thing. And I recently just closed down the business like back in July. And I only had like maybe one more contract left with somebody that was close. Good friends with them still. I told him, like, yeah, if you get rid of your manager, I might come do a couple cars for you here and there. But yeah, window tint was my jam back in the day. And it just fell into this. So, I mean, I'm very grateful that I could do this full time and spend time with like creators with you and just share everybody's stories. I think it's just a lot of fun and to get people's stories out there. I don't know. I just have a good time doing this. This is what I love doing.
It's really cool, man. And honestly, it sounds like you have stuff to fall back on if you ever just didn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But that sounds awesome. And the fact that you said the cat's bomb.
Okay.
Fucking, oh my God, dude, I bled on that floor.
Oh no. Okay, story time.
Fucking, just like so many times going to shows, fucking seeing bands there and moshing.
Yeah.
Just like this fucking flashback of being at Hamilton shows is just really weird because I'm originally from St. Catharines, so we were really close.
Oh, no shit. Hamilton. Okay.
So we'd go like usually just St. Catharines show. We'd go there too. Hop in the trunk of my buddy's car because it was too full, and we fucking go and check out punk bands and shit there. So
actually,
that's weird.
Speaking of punk rock bands, I remember playing with one of these bands. They're called the Johnstones. I think they were from Toronto. Did you ever listen to them at all? Yeah. Okay. What? Yeah, they were like a ska kind of like punk rock band. Those guys were sick. The trumpets. Yeah, like
man. The drummer was the singer, dude. We fucking
holy
shit.
Yeah, we opened up for him one time. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I played in like a punk rock band that kind of like aligned with that. But I have a video somewhere on YouTube. I can't remember. I'll try to find it too, and you can see the Johnstones like banner in the background and see everybody moshing around. Yeah, I'll definitely have to send that to you. I figure
I looked him up a few months ago. I think I looked him up. The name just popped into my head to see if they'd done anything recently, like a YouTube video to react.
That would be sick.
I saw some videos of theirs that they did that I'd never seen for songs that I didn't know, but I just kind of kept putting it off. I was like, I can do that on another day. This band's got a new song today, so I'll do this one instead. Johnstone's fucking hell, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I just remember because it was at the Casbah too, so I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's cool that you went there.
Probably 20 years ago since I've seen them, I think.
Holy shit.
Yeah, probably close to 20 years.
Wow. Yeah,
man.
That is kind of ridiculous. Well, dude, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and stuff. I'll wrap it up here. I don't know if you have any like last words or anything, but I just want to say thank you for spending the hour here just to hang out with us. Check out some. I guess we didn't really check anything out, but would love to do that for you. I know you're probably off to bed pretty soon, getting some comments and stuff ready for because you just uploaded a bunch of stuff and getting that ready. So thank you. Just thank you for being a part of this. And yeah, I don't know. Any last words?
No, man, I appreciate it. I like having the conversation. Maybe I'll be out in Toronto someday and come meet up for a show.
Yes. Yeah. I wish we could have done that for a Brand of Sacrifice, but maybe we can do that very soon. I would love to get just to fucking meet up with you. It'd be fun.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, dude. Well, take it easy. Have a good time. And toodle-doo. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to end these things.